this time, it is my pleasure to bring out to the stage the moderator of the Dirk Gently panel, my friend and your friend, Mr. Kevin Smith!
Thank you for coming out to the panel today. How's Comic-Con going for everybody? Good to hear. BBC's panel today, BBC America, of course, made up of two parts. I'm in charge of the first part. We're going to be talking about Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency. And this is a very special day because it is their very first, and I'm sure not their last, Hall H Comic-Con panel. Give it up for Hall H. And then afterwards, the thin version of me, Chris Hardwick, will show up. And he will be taking over the Who side of things. But since there are some Whovians in the room, I wanted to share a story with you that won't play anyplace else. Like, it's not a story I could really tell my mom. She'd look at me blankly. I was all weekend I've been on the IMDb boat interviewing people for IMDb. And there's a boat parked in the back of the convention center. And it's been lovely. All the movers and shakers at Comic-Con come up and we get to talk to them outside. So yesterday, during the live show, everything else is usually taped, but yesterday there was a 90-minute live show. During the live show, they bring up Stephen Moffat and Peter Capaldi. So, as it's a very jam-packed day, and they're like, you're talking to these people, try and keep things straight in your head, but the beauty of the Comic-Con is you get to talk to people who do work that move you and change your life. And I'm no different than everyone in the audience. There are things that I've loved that have made a difference. Fictional programs, fictional characters that I love more than some of my own blood relatives. And so when you get a chance to meet the people that generate those moments, you just want to tell them. You know, you can do it on social media and hope that they see it, but to show them face to face, in your eyes, what their work is meant to, it's profound. I love doing it. It's one of my favorite aspects of my job. So there's Stephen, and I go, hey, I gotta tell you, man, one of my favorite hours of television ever produced, and one that I watch over and over again, is something that came from Doctor Who. And I tell you, this is my go-to when I'm sad, it's my go-to when I want to get blazed. Sometimes I just get high and watch it over and over again. I was going because it was a blend of perfect worlds of my childhood and the present version of Who, man. And it was the school reunion episode where Sarah Jane Smith came back. And they brought back K9. So I was like, I just want to thank you for that. And Stephen Moffat goes, thank you, but we didn't make that episode. And I was like, what? And he goes, that was before me, but I loved hearing how much you loved somebody else's work. And we were on the IMDb boat, sponsored by IMDb, and I'm like, if only there was a service where I could look this information up. So that was my big blunder for Comic-Con. I'm going to try to make up for it here, man. I had a long weekend, as everybody has here. You waited in lines and stuff, which is even longer. But when I heard that there was an opportunity to extend my trip by one day, I should have been leaving last night after my last show, but then I heard from BBC America, they're like, we need somebody to moderate the panel for Dirk Gently. So I changed my plans, told my wife, we're staying in San Diego. She said, oh, fuck. And I said, because it's important, to borrow a phrase from Ratatouille, it's important to support the new. But it's also important to support something that is so brave, so bold, so daring, and so defiantly not willing to help the audience in any way, shape, or form. It's very rare that anything like that ever gets greenlit for one season, let alone two, man. So I always support that kind of thing. I support great dialogue, great performances, and great ideas. I can't provide any of those things myself anymore, so I look to others to do that, and I've found it in Dirk Gently. So before we bring them all out, let's take a look back at last season, shall we? Roll the clip of season 1.
where to begin? This show is sort of about a lot. So, my name is Dirk Gently.
Hi.
I'm a holistic detective, and by that I mean I investigate cases not through pesky thinking and logic and deduction, but in a more naturalistic way, in that I just sort of wander around and trust the universe to use me to work out the problems that need solving. I'm handsome, brave, unstoppably tough, giftedly, stunningly intelligent, and just generally capable of anything I put my mind to. I was hired to investigate the murder of reclusive billionaire Patrick Spring, which is how I met my assistant, Todd.
Stop. I am not your assistant.
Sidekick?
No, I am a guy you know. I am your friend. I am not your assistant when you explain to people who you are. I'm Todd Brodsman. I used to be the lead singer in a punk band, but that kind of fell apart. I made a lot of mistakes. I was working at the hotel where Patrick Spring was murdered. That's how I met Dirk. He broke into my apartment and hijacked my life into total chaos. We ended up on the run from a cult, trapped in an underground maze, kidnapped, and finally going back in time. Honestly, we couldn't have done any of it without Farah.
Did you say my name?
Yeah, I was talking about the cult.
Hey, we promised not to talk about that. I find it very triggering.
Well, maybe... Do you want to...
Black. Farah Black. I always wanted to be in the military or law enforcement, but I had certain setbacks that stopped me from achieving this.
Paranoid, panic-prone, unstable.
Still, I have a very specific skill set, which is often useful in high-intensity situations. I was Patrick Spring's bodyguard and took it upon myself to find his daughter after he was killed. And that's how I met Dirk, Todd, and his sister.
His sister? Really? That's all I get. His sister.
I didn't mean to be rude.
Yeah, because I'm just his sister. Like, am I even worth being rude to? I'm so beneath you, I don't get a name.
Okay, why don't you just kidding.
I am Amanda fucking Brodsman. I spent the last 5 years of my life trapped by a disease called pararigulitis. It causes painful hallucinations that feel completely real. My brother was my hero, my role model, until I found out that he lied to me about basically everything. I thought my life was over until I met the Rowdy Three. A group of anarchist vampires who can feed on the energy from my disease. So I'm with them now.
Trapped with a bunch of crazies. I can relate to that.
Who are you?
I'm Ken.
Did we even meet each other in the first season?
I was kind of busy. I was hired to do some grid hacking by some shady types, but then I got kidnapped by a woman I thought was insane. Well, at first I was her hostage, but she showed me something incredible. That there was a pattern to the universe. That there might be a bigger purpose, a greater plan for everything. My destiny. In this mass murderer I found...
What? Murder? Come on, I don't murder people, I just kill them.
With murdering, yes.
Words, words, words. Murder is a mean word. Don't be mean to me or I'll kill you. Nicely. I'm an assassin, my name is Bart. Nothing can hurt me. I'm guided by the will of destiny itself to kill all the people who are supposed to die. And so far, that's pretty much everybody I meet. I've killed tens of thousands of people across the world, and will kill tens of thousands more, because that's just how it is. Death comes for everybody, and if death don't get you, I will.
So basically, it's kind of a long story, but it turns out the kitten was a shark, the girl was a dog, the body swapping machine was actually a time machine, the fat man was a rock star, I was the gorilla, and Patrick Spring accidentally murdered himself. And they all lived happily ever after.
Excuse me, we're not done here. My name is Hugo Friedkin. I was in the Army Reserves when I was pulled onto a special top-secret mission for a program called Blackwing. It didn't go perfect, but I did my best. What is going on? And they put me in charge of the whole operation, because that's how the government works, I guess. It seemed to me the best course of action is also always the biggest. So I did that. I took action. I took everything. So, season 2 is just me winning and everyone congratulating me, I guess.
We'll see.
I watched something like that, and and I feel ashamed to call myself a storyteller. That is so imaginative and inventive and frustrating, to be honest with you. Let's meet the people who are responsible for this work of art. We're going to bring them out now, ladies and gentlemen. Show them your love. Showrunner, Robert Cooper. Welcome to the stage. Only person I've ever met who can talk more than me, ladies and gentlemen, the guy responsible for all this, the man who has to answer for it. Welcome the one and only Max Landis, everybody. And now we bring out some cast. These cats you haven't seen yet, but you're going to see very soon in season 2. Welcome to the stage, Tyler Labine, ladies and gentlemen. Is my old Reaper buddy. Hey man, when one dick's not enough, you need Alan Tudyk, ladies and gentlemen. I'm praying I get this right. Mpo Kawaho, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Welcome to the stage, Fiona Dorff, ladies and gentlemen. Followed very closely by Jade Eschette, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for Hannah Marks. If nobody else will, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Elijah Wood. There is no show without your titular character, which sounds dirtier than I meant it. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Dirk Gently himself, Samuel Boyle. All right, a lot of people to talk to, lots to get into, much to unpack. Let's start down there with you, Robert. The show, from day one, there's this everything is connected idea and aesthetic, and you guys somehow delivered. Somehow you did connect everything, and I know the person who's the showrunner is responsible for that. Somebody sits in an office and writes some shit and goes, thank God I don't have to deal with this. And you actually have to make it happen in the real world of Vancouver. How challenging was season 1?
Oh, wow. Season 1, well, first of all, you have to understand, I mean, a large part of my job is just, you know, talking to Max. And listening to Max. I actually don't do that much talking. I described season 1, when we were here last year, I said it was kind of like, you know, you're a surgeon and you're trying to save the life of a patient who's actually being stabbed by the murderer while you're trying to save them. And I thought about it, you know, I thought, well, what am I going to say this year? How am I going to, you know, up that? And the truth is that when Max comes in at the beginning of the year, he's all these ideas, like a million things to say. I want this, and I think this should be a good idea, and we all sort of have to process that. But then, you know, there's the reality of it. You know, there's one thing to have all these creative ideas, nothing to try and achieve that and actually put it on film. And I kind of think of it as like trying to take a sip of water from a fire hose. You know, you're just getting blasted in the face and you're trying to figure out, okay, I'll just drink this much. It's always fun. Max always says to me, can we do that? And I feel like a lot of my job is to say, sure, let's try. Let's see what happens. And then we, get in the editing room and figure out what we should and shouldn't have done.
Yeah. Max, when you're not busy pulling out your fire hose and splashing them all over his face, neck, and chest, what is?
I see you watch my Instagram story, Kevin.
What is? Take me through here. This is what I would like to do. If you see a show like this, you're like, how does that happen? How does something that smart get through the process? It starts with personality. Everything in this life, in this business, starts with personality. Max is insanely good at pitching. I've watched Max pitch, and it's fucking phenomenal. Max could pitch me on the murder of my own mother, and I'd be like, let's do her in. That's how it's
We're shooting in fall. We have full financing.
So, Max, do me a favor. I know you can't remember word for word, but can you show us what the pitch for this show was like?
Well, I'll tell you something really interesting about this show.
You know the panel's only an hour, right?
I'll tell you something really interesting and something really true that not many people know, which is that I did not pitch this show. I wouldn't dare, I wouldn't try. It would be a fool's errand. The show's too complicated, the characters are too bizarre. I'd be told no almost immediately within the room, no matter how charismatic I was, no matter how many hands I shook or Comic-Con parties I went to. I was the son of Steven Spielberg and George Lucas due to an errant night in 1985. It wouldn't matter. No one would listen to me. I'd sound like I was doing fan fiction for something that didn't exist. So what happened, I realized very early on, if I wanted to make a show that would be honest to the scope, the scale, and the tone of the books, would be that I'd have to pitch as I went. So the first thing I had to do was write a really good pilot. Except the pilot, if you've seen it, has all these unanswered questions and all this weird shit, and why is Todd in that jacket, and okay, his sister is, I guess, a character. Who's that woman on the bed? I had to write a pilot that was fun enough to read, that it served as a pitch, so I didn't have to walk into a room, so I didn't have to convince anyone, ever, because they had the Bible, they didn't need the preacher. And then, because that's only half of the job, you have to pitch at some point. I said, screw that, I'm not doing that either. Instead, I'm writing the show Bible. So I wrote 68 pages? A 68-page show Bible with detailed breakdowns of every character, multiple pages long, with long sequences in it, written in Dirk's voice. Dirk told you there was an intro, an extra, everything you needed to know about the show, including the entire mystery backwards from the start. So what happened was, the show itself, this document, became the pitch. Because I realized I could never get someone to sit down and listen to me talk for that long who wasn't dating me or being paid.
Now, just to put that in context, ladies and gentlemen, in this business of show, what happens is that we all try our lives to get here. Because the idea of making pretend for the rest of our lives, as we did in childhood, sounds appetizing and realistic. So when you get into the business, one of the first things that falls away is your willingness to do work for no money. Because you're like, well, now I should get paid for this sort of thing. So what he just described was multi-steps in a process where generally what happens is somebody walks in and talks about a show. And then the network goes, all right, we're going to think about it internally and have a discussion. And then maybe they tap you to write an outline or something. And if you're lucky, the next step is writing a script, which all of these steps you get paid for. And most people are like, I'll let my agent handle this. I'm not going to do any work until there's money on the table. What I just heard was that you did all of the steps before you even knew you had a TV show or a place to bring it to. Free for nothing, is that correct?
That's 100% correct, but you have to keep in mind, this year I wrote an 158 essay about Carly Rae Jepsen.
I was trying to give you praise, and then you remind everybody you're an idiot.
I mean, like, it sounds like I'm wildly prolific and ambitious, but I mean, the truth is I'm just a buffoon, sort of. Someone gave Microsoft Word and Final Draft to, and it's just been a mess ever since.
How, and this is for those in the audience who like the writerly arts, how often do you write every day? Is there a schedule, or do you write because you want to, so there is no schedule?
I have no schedule and only write when I think I have a good idea. I find that the stuff I write when I force myself to write is really hard, and that means when I'm on, like Rob and I have been in
Yeah, you know, like when you actually need a script to shoot.
Yeah, and so it'll be like you have a week to write, you know, this 60-page thing, and I'll be like, I don't really feel like writing, and then it'll be Friday, and I'll go, I guess I write it now, and then it's done. And that's my only cool skill as a human being. That's it. I don't have anything else. I can't juggle anymore. It's forgot how.
Anymore? Did you used to be able to juggle?
I'm a mediocre kisser. I have like writing, and I found a website that lets me make shirts.
You have yo-yo skills.
What? Oh yeah, I've gotten better at yo-yo this season.
Let's confirm though something. Elijah, is he a terrible mediocre kisser?
Yeah, Elijah, is he? I have no idea.
Let's talk to the cast, because my lord, how frustrating it must be to deal with what we just heard. Schedules coming in at the last minute, not knowing where your character is going to be at the end of the season, looking at a script and going, this reads smart, but I don't know if I can pull this off. Well, I guess I'll help. What is the idea when you see a script, not just the first one, but every script for Dirk Gently? Is there a feeling of huzzah, or a feeling of, let's do this? Like what? Tell me.
Well, I think it's more huzzah, definitely. And then on the second reading, you go, yeah, no, how are we going to do this? That's kind of how it goes. But what Max does brilliantly with these scripts is combines fantastic plot, truly original ideas, which I do think is hard to do these days because everything's been done, with characters that have proper emotional depths and arcs throughout the entire season. So you've kind of got everything in there. So when you get it, it's like so satisfying because you know that you're just going to have the best time getting your teeth into it. And also, you also get it and go, I have literally no idea what's going on, and even if he explains it to me at this stage, it's not going to help, because there are things that Max will plant in episode 1 of season 1 that won't pay off until episode 10 of season 2. So in a way, you don't need to know everything. I experience it like I'm watching it as a viewer. Like, I'm just going to stay with this and see where it goes, and it pays off.
Yeah, and to a certain degree too, the characters are in the same position as the audience. The characters are never ahead of the audience. We are in the dark as we're going. We're discovering just as the audience is. So to a certain degree, we don't have to know what's going on in regards to the plot, as confusing as it is, as long as the emotional truth of what the characters are going through is present, and that is so present within the dialogue and the way that he writes these characters. So that's our root and that's our anchor, and everything else is sort of this storm that's happening around us.
And your trusting nature allows you to just believe, like, hey, if everything goes really wrong, them eagles will show up and save you.
Always. You know, the first thing I read, obviously, was the pilot script for this, and the pilot, it literally creates a million questions and no answers. If anyone's seen the pilot, you know that to be true. But I was in love with it. I knew I loved it. I knew I loved these characters. I knew I loved the world and where things seemed to be going, that I had no idea where it was actually going. It was so ingrained in me I had fallen in love with this thing. And so I ended up having a Skype with Rob and Max, where they then described what the season was going to be and ultimately where my character was going to go. And there's a moment in the first episode where Todd sees himself.
Yeah.
The elevator door opens and inexplicably there he is having an argument with someone around the corner. And I was like, what the fuck is that? And he was like, oh, right, you'll see that in episode 7. It's great, you become a badass with a fur jacket and, oh, it's time travel. What? I'm in! And that's the kind of stuff that we got to work with, and these beautiful reveals that would sort of happen mid-season because the script hadn't come out yet, and then you'd have a side conversation with Max where he's like, oh, I didn't tell you that thing? I'm like, no you didn't! This is amazing! And this still happens, where the dissemination of information is relatively solid, but there are some pretty massive things that we just like run into him in the hallway, and then he's like, oh yeah, this happens in episode 8. And you're like, wow, I had no idea. and it's thrilling.
Hannah, does your disease exist in the real world?
You know, everyone thinks it exists. I know you thought it existed.
I Googled it.
Yeah. It does not exist, guys. You can't light yourself on fire in a grocery store.
Or can you? I mean...
What I was telling you yesterday, it feels very similar to my social anxiety, as I always feel like Amanda.
Right.
Yeah, no, hers.
How does one research a role that, like, well, that doesn't really happen to real people?
You know, I actually, in one of the first few episodes, I was supposed to freeze to death, so I took a bath of ice, and I felt like all Daniel Day-Lewis-y. And I was like, yeah, it was so cool, and like method, or whatever. And then the next script I got, I lit on fire, so I was like, no, I can't. I ended the ice, so I just watched a bunch of kids on YouTube being idiots lighting themselves on fire.
Wow.
Because I just got in worse and worse scenarios and positions as Amanda, and I can't actually do them as Hannah anymore and still be alive for the show. So yeah, now I'm just being a regular actor.
You had your own like jackass on the side.
Yeah, I did. I was like dipping my toe in like an ice bucket, and I was like, I did it.
Jay, did you know when you were hired for the show that you were going to be playing the muscle, essentially?
You know, that's a funny story. I did know that and immediately said, no, I can't do this. You want to see me for this? Something's wrong. And I think I delayed. I delayed even like really reading it or putting myself on tape for it, because I was like, there's no way. You see, never mind. So, yeah, and then once I got it, and I thought that, well, maybe they'll tweak it, because I mean, I'm tiny. She's supposed to like take down 10 guys in 2 seconds. How's that gonna work? How are we gonna do that? Nope, no changes. That happened, day one. So yeah, I go to the gym now, and I work with, you know, fight trainers, and like, yeah, it's legit. That's
one of the really... One of the cool things is, Max was talking about and Elijah was talking about the first episode really doesn't give you the full perspective on the characters or on where it's going.
Fairy's just tied to a bed.
Yeah, fair, and she actually has no dialogue in the first 2 episodes. And so, you know, casting is often presents a challenge. So what Max will do is write about a 2-page monologue for the character that is not actually in one of the scripts. But inevitably he falls in love with it, and it eventually goes in a script somewhere down the line. And, you know, for example, there was initially quite a long monologue for Sheriff Hobbs, who Tyler plays. He never actually read it because he didn't audition. When we heard Tyler was interested in doing the show, we were just like, yes, please.
Well, same with Alan, except for they both now do those monologues.
Yeah, those monologues are actually in the show.
But I remember also when you approached me about the show.
Person, whatever kind of person she is, it felt like a grounded person just from Jersey.
Embo, how was your first year?
I thought you were Canadian, man.
I know, most people do think I'm Canadian. I'm from New Jersey, from the Canadian part of New Jersey. But back to you. How was your season 1?
You know, the first year was quite the experience for me. I do a lot of drama stuff, a lot of tough guy stuff. I'm either shooting somebody or crying over something emotional, and it was a great opportunity to play the comedy for the first time. Really, I don't think anybody's ever seen me do that, and so it was a challenge that I really relished in. And this has been a really, really, really fun season, especially the first one for me. Just getting the opportunity to play such a squirrely, scared, shaken up, uncomfortable.
Screamy? Can we add screamy to that as well?
Has to go to the washroom probably in every scene. I just feel like they got to do number 2 in every scene. Right. So after you get past, you know, number 2 in your pants every scene, it was a hell of a lot of fun.
Every scene?
Yeah.
Mine too.
Well, I was method acting too.
Umpo, had you really not done comedy?
Say that again?
Umpo, had you really not done comedy before this?
I had maybe done like a tip project, which is a very low budget Canadian type of comedic opportunity, and I'm somebody that is been yelled at to do stand-up for a long time, and I'd like to try this.
Why try it now?
Generally, I just get yelled at with no motivation or job ambition attached.
Alan and Tyler, you guys are joining season 2. You both, obviously, you both have done wonderful things in your career. You both have identities. Everyone's like, hey, it's those cats. But still, you're stepping into something that's been up and running. You know, it's just like, I know it's like, let's bring the Dale and Tucker magic, but is there any sort of like hesitancy to jump into a machine that's already up and running?
No.
Short answer is no.
Good. With that, let's look at a clip. We have a clip from season 2. We'll come back and talk to everybody here. Let's roll that clip.
We have to go now. You came to rescue me! That's right, we're badasses now. We're big badasses and we came to rescue you, Dirk.
We used a magic cloth given to us by Thor to find you.
Knew I could rely on Thor! Hurry up, we have to get to the lost city of gold to collect the sacred algae before it's too late.
Yeah, Dirk, we need that algae.
Okay, let's go! Oh. This is a dream, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Max, take us through it. What's going on?
What the hell is going on?
If you saw the first season, you'll remember that several times characters said things that mirrored each other. Even strange characters like the Rowdy Three appeared to be connected to something larger, something only referenced slightly by Miguel Sandoval and Dustin Friedkin as General Riggins and, did I call Dustin Friedkin? He was the star of the movie I directed, and I called him by his character's name. Rest in peace, Dustin. But no, there was like this very weird sort of underserviced military subplot in the first season. And it wasn't really clear what was going on with it. There was just sort of this Abbott and Costello team of idiots. And then at the end of the season, Trump won the election. And Hugo Friedkin assumed total control of Blackwing, a defunct operation that used to control, classify, and contain, secure, contain, and protect. I knew there'd be one of you. Anomalous people. People with anomalous abilities. These are not mutants. The people on our show do not have powers. They exist anomalously. Their very presence in our universe causes small distortions or heals small distortions that wouldn't otherwise be noticed. With Bart, this comes across as being invulnerable. The Rowdy Three can feed on pure energy. With Dirk, it's a little bit harder to quantify or qualify, but at the end of it all, Hugo Friedkin was given $80 million to go track down these people. And he did. He fucked all our characters, captured seemingly everyone, killed wonderful Neil Brown Jr., Detective Estevez, dead, 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 dead. Just because you didn't see the body doesn't mean he's not dead, he's dead. Welcome, new supporting cast, good luck. And Dirk himself had a close-up encounter with a guy who wants to put him in a box and dissect his brain, and we find him there in that box in that scene.
Robert, you could save so much money just firing everybody, run a camera on him, and that's every episode.
I was just saying in the press room back there that, you know, Tyler and Izzy Steele, who plays Tina Tavatino, are two police officers that sort of mirror Estevez and Zimmerfield from last year. They're totally different. Estevez and Zimmerfield were like the normal ones, the button-up sort of average person perspective.
How'd that work out for them?
And this year, Hobbs and Tina are kind of like fans of season 1. And you're gonna like love them. At least I love them.
You're so great.
there's going to be a point very early on when you're going to be falling in love with them, and a part of your brain is going to go, wait a minute. Everybody else on this show died. Is that going to happen to these?
Yeah.
Boys, you want to talk about the characters you're playing? Have you shot yet? Have you already? How deep into season 2 are you guys right now?
We're in the thick of it. We're halfway through.
More than halfway. We're
halfway. Yeah.
Past 6.
Past the thick. So we're back out on the edges where it starts getting thinner again. Is that
Yeah, they're fire hose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I play Sheriff Sherlock Hobbs, named after a very famous detective. I'm gonna let you guess. Not all of you are gonna get it, but some of you will. Smart ones. Yeah, I basically, the way that the character was pitched to me and the way I'm playing it is that he's like a highly under-challenged sheriff of this fictitious town, Bergsburg. And this game wanders into his life, and they're just the coolest thing he's ever seen. He wants to be like them, he wants to enable them in all the wrong ways, and then he does. He does that. It allows them to do all sorts of things that they probably should just be locked up for. But yeah, he's super into and accepting of the sort of tales they tell me. Time travel? Sure, yeah, totally. I'm on board with that, yeah.
We should probably just wind back like ever so briefly and just explain to these nice people that the whole idea behind Dirk Gently is that every season is a whole new case. And not only a whole new case, but kind of a whole new exploration of a different genre. So while season 1 was time travel, season 2 has a whole different storyline behind it, and also very new settings. So season 1 was very urban, this is very rural, and also very something else.
Nice one.
Very something else. You know that thing we're not supposed to talk about?
Yeah, we can't talk about it at Comic-Con, people freak out. Well, hey, Alan, who do you play?
Alan I play Mr. Priest, who is, he's a bad guy. He's trouble. And I love that line when he says, I'm trouble. He's a bad man. And he's after, he's tracking the anomalies. Feels like they need to be locked back up, they're dangerous and they need to be locked up, and I have a big gun. And I shoot it. Yeah, that's not a euphemism.
You were just telling me this morning that you actually have never fired a machine gun.
No, I hadn't. And what's great about a machine gun is you don't have to act. If you're playing a badass, you point it, and this is the only muscle you need right there, and you're suddenly, yeah, you're suddenly a badass. I've always been a bad. That's very nice.
How much effort do you actually have to put in to look cool?
So much. Being cool.
Because you pulled it off.
Oh, that's very nice. Being mean or being very serious takes so much work. Can't he just be a buffoon like a dummy who trips and spills things on himself? Because that comes quite easily. But it's really fun. I feel like I'm sort of like Halloween. What's his name again?
Mike Myers.
Yep, Mike Myers.
11th time today.
Mike Myers. You're upset.
Michael. I think it's Michael.
Austin Powers. I feel like Austin Powers.
Austin Powers. Yeah. He just never stops. He never stops moving. He's just always coming after you, and he's got one purpose, but he enjoys it too. I don't think Mike Myers was into that.
Stop calling him Mike Myers.
Michael Myers.
Mike Myers is a comedian.
I call him MM,
and he's actually Canadian.
Oh, it's Michael Myers. I see. Michael.
Yeah.
Michael Patrick Myers.
We have one more clip to show you folks. You want to watch it right now? Let's check out another clip from season 2.
You're not the usual scientist. You're a noob. Hey, listen, look at me. You have got to get me out of here, okay? I've been in here for, look, listen, 70 days. Can you see? 70 days. Every day they just keep asking me the same question about if I have some kind of superpower, but I don't. You gotta let me talk to who's in charge. I'm in charge. So, how does your power work? I don't have a power. Okay, I'm a tech guy. It's computers.
You survived 7 days with Project Marzana.
Bart?
She kills everybody that she comes in contact with, except you. Therefore, you must have powers.
No, I told you people, Bart wasn't trying to kill me.
How does the dog work?
How does the dog work? Really? Look, man, enough! All right, you've got to start listening to me. This is just like, it's such a bummer.
This program, we used to collect people with weird abilities. We can't find any of the cool people that they used to have, like the human bomb or the invisible guy or the shapeshifter.
Are you saying there are other Barts?
Yeah, except that's the catch, is they suck. The vampire guys are crazy. Icarus, I mean, Dirk Gently is like lame and annoying. And then there's this other guy who's literally in a coma.
Look, man, they're connected to the thing. The fabric of reality. You can't keep them locked up. All right, these kind of people need to be out in the world.
Sorry, that was an accident.
So you can tell that Nompos started season 2 the same way he finished season 1.
I gotta say, choosing a clip, because, and I want you guys to talk about this, because I want to know what you guys, the main cast, thought. Choosing a clip from the first episode that wasn't a spoiler was so hard. Because everything, even the premise of the second season is a spoiler. I mean, like, Elijah, Sam, Hannah, Jake, everybody, Fiona, like, what was it like to come back into the world and see where these people were? Because they weren't where you thought they'd be when the first season ended.
Oh, no, I mean, like, Dirk is in such a different place. He's having a total existential crisis about who he is. Like, his whole thing of everything's connected and you're where you're meant to be and all of that stuff is great in theory. And he did, you know, they solve a mystery in season 1, but all of his friends and anyone he now cares about is dying and in trouble. So I think Dirk is having such a crisis about using the abilities that he has. And I feel like Todd and Dirk have just done like a complete 180 and swapped roles.
Yeah, Todd is now sort of preaching the belief system of the universe and everything that it will give him in this with the same enthusiasm that Dirk did in the first season, because he has pararegulitis now and his sister is missing and he's got to find his sister, so all of these things really have to be real, and because they're going to hold the answers and Dirk is going to hold the answers.
Yeah, but Dirk doesn't think he does, and he's like, Todd, you need to calm down, okay?
And I'm like, get back on the program,
this
dude.
This isn't real, so...
Yeah, for me, I feel like I have a hard time talking about my storyline this year because it's literally all spoilers. My storyline is insane. Yeah, I mean, last year I just described season 1 as like, it's like Sherlock on crack with a corgi. And now I'm like, ooh, I don't know. Wow, it just sounded like Dirk. Yeah, I don't know how to describe it, but I feel like if last year was weird, then this year is like probably 10 times weirder. And I'm so excited to work with all the crazy creatures and magic and stuff that we have this year.
Do you like wearing your special hat that you have to wear? Or your hat that you have to wear? Yeah.
It's really heavy.
She wears a special hat this season.
I do. And I also am a giant snail.
She talks to
You'll find that out later.
We can mention Wendemore, right?
Can we? Should we?
They said we could.
Yeah, we've been mentioning it for 2 days. We're told we can. We've been talking about the fact that Wendemore is a place.
Yeah, Wendemore.
Yeah.
The Valley of Wendemore.
Right.
The land of Wendemore, the Valley of England.
Correct.
Where a war between two families has raged for generations. The sacred forest of the Bafuki Napu, where the Santi Sankita live, guided by the forest witch Wapti Wapnasi.
I guess we're talking about it.
This is every table read.
So that's a good preview of what's in store.
It's actually, I think, a more simplistic season, though.
It's easier to follow.
Yeah, I feel like the mystery is clear, but way weirder.
Yeah, it's both
way weirder.
It's both weirder and simpler.
Yeah.
Because it's easier to understand. At the start of the season, you go into the room and you're like, okay, here's what we're going to do this season. And with features...
And I was like, really?
Yeah, with features. Yeah, but Rob gets on my side. And then it's like, yeah, we're doing that. And everybody kind of goes, really? And except for now they have 2 guys. It's weird because, like, even when I was pitching to you guys, you remember on the drive back from Comic-Con?
Yeah, this time last year.
You guys remember that?
Yep.
Yeah, I remember understanding nothing about you were telling us about this season, and I was just so confused.
Thank you. That's great promo for the show, Jane.
But no, I mean, you see it all come to life now, and it's beautifully amazing. Like it's so crazy because I heard the things and I processed them, and I was like, how can you actually do that thing that you said? And I'm not going to say it because that's a spoiler.
Yeah, they did.
But you did it, and it's there, and it's a real thing, and I die every single time I see these things. It's just, yeah.
You take it away from me pretty fast.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying anything. Don't do that.
Kevin, moderate us.
I was just going to let you guys drown all you wanted, man.
You're just trying to kill me off.
I was enjoying it. No, here's what I'll say. This show is genius. Absolutely clever. And clever sounds dismissive, but clever takes a lot to pull it off. The only reason I came here to do this panel today is to ask, can I direct one of the episodes?
Get us renewed for season 3, and you'll be contractually obligated to direct 2. I'm shooting, like baby! Save that money! I'm sorry you're not sleeping tonight.
Yo,
yet.
Max, let this New Jersey could not come through.
That Jersey accent will improve if I direct, I'm just saying that. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the cast and creators.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for the cast and creator team of Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency and our special guest moderator, Mr. Kevin Smith. Coming up in just a few short minutes, ladies and gentlemen, our final panel of the day in Hall H, Doctor Who, BBC America official